What is up, everyone? Back for another episode of Finish the Novel. This is my vlog where I talk about finishing my novel. Still got a long ways to go, many more weeks ahead of us. So yeah, check back, see how I'm doing. If whenever you can, no rush, no rules or anything. Just come back when you can, check it out. So just a couple notes from last episode. Just a little bit of feedback I got. So there were some technical issues, mostly, small stuff, but gonna try and record when there's no light in the back with the window. That was kind of messing up the lighting with the two cameras, and it didn't look good at all. So gonna try and do it at night, and just with the lights for now, I'm gonna just hope that the light from my monitor is enough on my face. There's obviously the room light. I mean, guys, this isn't a professional production or anything. You're just going to have to deal with it. Another thing is the cameras. So this one's a webcam, and this one's my camera on my phone. The phone just looks better, guys. So this guy's probably going to be the B-roll now, and this guy's probably going to be my main one. And that's kind of good because this one has me facing the microphone, so hopefully the audio's a little bit better. I mean, this audio isn't great. It's just a cheap microphone, but I might upgrade it at some point. So with the music, some people said it was distracting. I might just use music at the start and at the end. We'll see. Or might just really bring the music down low. I mean, it's not a big deal, but we'll see what happens. So another note, just the outro, I want to include what media, what books and movies I've been watching and stuff, just in case people are curious what I'm interested in and what I'm digesting and taking and how that might influence my work. It probably isn't. I mean, I'm pretty set in fantasy fiction for the novel, but it's possible just stealing styles or something like that, taking some inspiration from someone's tone or mood in their book, and that's always a possibility, and I'm sure a lot of people do the same thing. And just one more note from the last episode is all those pages that I've written, they are double spaced, so take that what you will, just so you have an idea of where I'm at. All those 180 pages are double spaced. So let's get into the main subject of this video, and that is writing routine. I want to talk about this first. I want to talk about first because most people like me kind of switch up their routines this time of year. It's New Year's. You might find yourself trying to switch things up, trying to be a little more productive or, finish a goal. So that was part of it for this year. I was thinking, all right, let's finish the novel, let's do a vlog and get this thing done. Why is it important to have a routine while writing? And, for me, I'm not the authority on this subject, of course. I haven't finished my novel. It's been really difficult for me to carve out that time and make the time and get it all done. But for me, it does help me get pages written. For me, it was difficult because I was only writing when I felt inspired or, when I was watching something and it got me motivated. But that's just, you're never going to get anything written if you're only writing when you feel extremely inspired. At least I'm not, because there's just too many distractions. There's too many great video games to play, too many other things to do. So for me, I think it's super important just to get the work done. And routine helps me with my writing guilt, right? Because if I'm not writing, I'm feeling guilty about not writing. Or I look back on the time that I could have been writing and thought, I could have spent all this time finally getting my novel done. And yeah, Eleanor, come here. This little nugget wants out of the room, even though I've wanted her in the video. Everyone wants updates on Eleanor, so she'll get updates too. Go on, Ellie. Partner's cooking pizzas, so dog needed to get out. Where were we? I just think it is really important to have a routine. and I'm hoping it makes a difference for me. That's essentially what I wanted to say. And just wanted to touch my current routine, just wanted to talk about it mostly. So the thing is I have a pretty particular job. It's pretty unique. Not a lot of people do it. It's not like a 9-to-5 or anything. So other people watching this, other writers looking for ideas for their routine, I hope you can get something out of this video, but it isn't likely that you're going to be able to emulate it just because I have a very flexible schedule. I'm very fortunate to have that flexible schedule, and I know I'm very fortunate, and I'm grateful for it too. So what is my schedule? How am I shaking things up this year to try and get my novel written, get it finished? I'm trying to knock out all of my work for the day in the morning. I'm waking up at I'm shooting for 6:30. I'm trying to work straight from 7 to noon, get, all my work done in that time frame. And then after that, it's lunch. And then I move on to 2 to 4. I'm cutting that time out, the afternoon time, for specifically writing. And then I'm also throwing in, a little bit of physical fitness. And, I feel like working out, that does help get the creative juices flowing. I don't know if that's true for everyone else or not, but so if I can, I try and do that before I start writing, but then that's right after lunch. So usually the physical fitness, that comes afterwards, after I've written for a couple hours. I'll try and get in some gym time before dinner. And it's just, there's so many variables in someone's day and even in my day where all that simple plan, right, gets completely obliterated a lot of different ways. Just this last week, for example, was my partner's birthday. So partner's B-day, what are you going to do? You gotta spend time with them. You gotta go out to dinner, you gotta do the whole thing. And it's important. It's important to have those, it's important to take time for yourself and for your family and your loved ones. And I think that's probably just as important as keeping to your routine is also making sure you're giving yourself that extra time. So just the short amount of time that I've been doing this routine, I've had to make a lot of concessions and changes. So this waking up at 6:30 that's tough for me, guys. Like, I haven't been doing that for nearly a year. I've had plenty of jobs where I've woken up at 6:30 and continued doing it. It's fine once you get on that rhythm, but just breaking straight over to that from not doing it for a long time now, that's been difficult for me. So that is kind of where my day gets pushed back probably the most, I've been noticing. So probably 3 days this week I was able to do it, and it feels great. You get all that work done before lunch, you feel great, right? But you're just not waking up at 6:30 all the time. It's pretty hard. So when it pushes back to 8 o'clock, when I start working at 8 instead of 7, that I have to get the work done. I got to pay rent, right? So that just gets pushed back one more hour after lunch. And then, it just kind of gets, usually the thing that is taking the hit is either the physical fitness time I'm trying to work into the day. That's usually the one that takes the hit. I don't feel like I have to work out every day. That's just not where my goals are right now. I'd rather for this year, this time, is finish the novel and get those pages written. So I'm trying to just retain the writing time and cut it off of other things. Again, other things that change are you cooking dinner that night? Me and my partner take turns cooking dinner. So what chores are you doing? What else do you have to do? Squeezing the day, what appointments do you have to make? What errands do you have to run? So, you gotta live. You gotta do those things, right? And so when I'm cooking dinner, I usually, I'm calling it around 5 o'clock. I'm starting to cook dinner for my roommate and my partner. And so that's probably 2 or 3 times a week too. So it's always give and take, right? It's always give and take. But the most important part is to just make sure you're squeezing that time in. You have to fit it in somewhere. you have to have a routine, and you have to make sure that you're continuing the progress. You're getting the pages written. Otherwise, it's just, you might wind up like me and having spent 8 or 9 years writing this single novel that you've never gotten around to finishing. So you got to do it. So just, the results of it so far, I'm feeling pretty good about the routine. Like, I know I wrote like 6 pages this last week. I'll talk about that more in the outro, but that it isn't where I want it to be, but it is I feel like it's a good start, something I can live with. And I feel like I am being more productive. Like, I feel like getting my work done in the early morning, I'm feeling better about it. I feel like, afternoon rolls around and I feel like the world's my oyster. I can jump right into the writing. But another problem I didn't talk about before, just discussing the routine, is waking up that early. I get the work done, and then I eat lunch, and then I'm getting sleepy, like really sleepy, guys. So lunch rolls around, I get something in my belly, and then I'm sitting down to write, and that you want to facilitate good writing. You don't want to just pile on the back work, all the editing, and just write like some shitty pages, right? You want to get some good pages written, and you can't do that when you're super sleepy. And so like twice this week, I just like ended up falling asleep, and I took like an hour-long nap. So that wasn't good either. I obviously didn't work out those days. I felt refreshed, like it was good, but maybe we're going to see. I'm going to change it a little bit. I'll give you guys an update. Might be waking up a little later, just so I don't end up wasting time with a nap. But who knows, a nap might work out better. I just need to make sure that I'm still getting the pages written, maybe after a nap, after I feel refreshed. So the thing about the routine is it's always in flux. You're always tinkering with it. You never know. Just how I'm feeling about mentally, I'm feeling good about it. I think one of the most important things with the routine is you got to cut yourself some slack. You can't pile the pressure on yourself and think, I didn't follow my routine down to the letter. Like, I'm not going to, it's all falling apart. I'm not going to get my book written. I'm not going to exercise every day. You got to cut yourself some slack. You can't put the pressure on and put that guilt on, because you're probably, if you're like me, you're already feeling guilty for not finishing your novel like years ago. So try and keep up to the routine as well as you can. Stick with it. Just because you failed for a week or a couple days or whatever, you took a couple naps, it's not a big deal. The most important part is to stick with your routine, because if you give up, you're never going to finish that goal, right? The book's never going to get written. So the only person that's going to keep you from achieving your goal with your routine is yourself. The only way that it's going to actually fail is if you give up. And that's mostly me talking to myself, right? Guys, I'm trying to encourage myself when I'm saying this. So if I'm coming off preachy, it's because I'm scared and I want to get this thing done, and I want to stick to my goal and not give it up. Just like with this vlog, I want to make sure I'm getting it done every week. I want to make sure I'm keeping up with it, because it's just another tool I'm using to stay motivated, to keep writing. Sorry, I feel like I'm kind of ranty with this episode. It's kind of gone on a lot longer than I thought. So we'll probably edit some of it out. I feel like another thing that's important with your routine is having the set goal in mind. Obviously, with this channel, it is finishing the novel. That's my goal. But beyond that, I even have more of a goal of keeping up the routine for the whole year, right? So I want to do the entire year following this routine, getting a lot of writing in, even if it isn't. Obviously, all of my writing is dedicated towards the novel at this point, but there is other writing I like to do. I like to write poems and stuff. So after the novel's done, I want to keep this up. I want to use that time, the writing time, obviously to edit my first draft and get it to a spot that I feel really good about before starting another process of maybe self-publishing or whatever. And I also want to use it to expand my writing, expand, to poems, to short stories and things like that. So that is the goal with my routine here. And that's what I'm going to be trying to do. And then I feel like this video is dragged on long enough, so we'll skip to the outro here. Just a quick writing update, guys. So I told you I wrote 6 pages this week, and that's okay, but I really need to be cranking it up into like the 10-12 range. Just doing the quick math, if I continued that 6 pages each week till like September, I'm only looking at like 140 pages. So need to do more, like I said, probably in this time frame, looking at like 200 to 300 pages being written. So I need to crank those numbers up. What else we got for the outro? I said I was going to do something new, right? I'm going to talk about what books I'm reading and what movies I'm watching and stuff. I haven't really watched any movies. I don't think I've watched any movies. I'm not really watching any shows. I am reading this book, though. My mother-in-law got me this book, Tomorrow and Tomorrow. It's a good book. I read half of it so far. I really, really enjoyed the beginning, but it's the middle is kind of becoming a slog. So I might finish it, I might not. I probably just should. I kind of want to see what happens. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the beginning, so it really might interest you guys. It's about video game developers, kind of not like their relationship, not really technically romantic, but maybe it will become romantic. We'll see. Anyway, it is a review about the book. I'm just talking about it really quickly. I'm also playing Pillars of Eternity on the Switch, and I'm really enjoying it. Like, on the Switch, it has its issues. It is on PC, and I think it can run on most PCs. So if you guys are interested in that, that's a really good one. I recommend it. I'm liking it a lot so far. And of course, I'm playing a lot of other video games. I'm playing this new one, Enshrouded, just came out. It's in early access. It's fun. It's like a survival crafting game. I think it'll be really, really good when it releases fully. It'll probably be like a year or 2 years before it releases fully. We'll see. And then, of course, I'm always playing Age of Empires and always playing Destiny 2. And I started Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. It's another CRPG. I think I'm going to just stick with Pillars of Eternity for now, and then I'll come back to that. So that's just a quick update. Sorry, not very quick. A little update on what games I've been playing, what books I've been reading and stuff. And that's it, guys. That's the outro. Thank you for joining me on another episode. Like always, I'll be back with another one next Sunday. And I hope you guys have a great week. Stick to your routine. Get your goals done. Bye, guys. See ya.